Speak, Daryl?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, hi, Miss Speak. This is Daryl Moore who's on the line. He's the leader of our anti-church fraud group.
How you doing?
Okay. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm sorry we had to meet under these conditions.
Mm-hmm. So I got some questions for you.
Go ahead.
What is the anti-fraud church group?
Well, we expose preachers and people in the church that are doing corrupt stuff, and we kind of investigate them. People like this committing fraud, taking money, not paying taxes, sex scandals. You can just imagine anything that you can think of like organized crime. That's kind of what we be investigating.
Anything that like they're trying to, lie to their followers or parishioners, try to get more money out of them.
Mm-hmm.
But are you faith believers or not?
Oh, we all believe in God. That's why we be on them so hard. Yeah, that's why we give them hell.
Well, that was something to clear up. Now, I'm not sure why you want from me, but if I give you any information from my dealings with her, where would this go? How far is this going? What would you do with this information?
Well, we're not gonna reveal your name at all. That's why we want to talk to you in private, away from the internet, because the last thing we want to do is jeopardize, like you said, you've been raising your grandson and staying out of the way. And when we spoke to Bishop Cousins, about all the lies that she's been telling on people, because she's left bodies everywhere she's gone. She's just caused chaos and all kinds of hell everywhere she's gone. And he said, that's how we found out about you. He said, go look at the court case and reach out to her, and she probably could tell you more than I could about her dealings, because she dealt with her longer than I have. And I was like, okay. So we contact you, and you reach back to us. So we were just trying to find out, because she's been telling so many lies, and the main lie she's been out there telling that she got pregnant by your son, and it was a result of rape. And I just don't believe that, because there's no criminal record. There's no criminal record. And there's no arrest record or anything. There's no arrest records or nothing.
I said that I wasn't going to mention it to my son, but I did.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the one that said, Mom, I think they just want to get her out of here. Let's go ahead and talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to think about why I called, really.
Okay.
Because for me, it's a bunch of nonsense.
Right. And
for my grandson, he's happy. He says people say, praise is good. It's good happy. And that's how I wanted to say. I mean, if she wasn't so detrimental, I would allow business. But I'm afraid to give her business because her lie, an adult can untie her, but so I just we don't even talk about her. In fact, he found out about her last year when we decided to tell her.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry.
So he my first priority. I don't never want him or his name drug across the road or none of that.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, I mean, how did was he okay when he found out? Because I know that had to be upsetting to him to find out like that.
His grades under for that investigation quarter and for the remaining quarter. I mean, and I had like a little foul on her, so I was able to. I took some of her pictures off the internet for her. Mm-hmm. And I let him see her, and I have some very beautiful pictures on here. So I wanted her a good picture, and then I let him talk to the man who was raising him first, who she left him with after he was born, which was Michael Henderson. Michael Henderson was raising him from the time he got home from the hospital to like
So who's Michael Henderson? That's the person that was raising.
He was the person when Andrea got pregnant by my son.
Mm-hmm.
My son was in college at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and she told him that it was his baby, and then a few weeks or a few months later, she told him that it wasn't his baby.
Oh wow.
So I had a good talk with him about the condoms and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
What he was, learn from your lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And so she put the baby on Mike. Michael Henderson he's more like an undertaker. He works for
Jordan Funeral Home.
He's older than my son. He's older than my son and Andrea, but he made good money. So I think he felt like I'll put the baby on him,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll be better off over there. Or if I go over child support, I'll be better off for him. Mm-hmm. With my age that's in school.
Mm-hmm.
So for a good portion of the time, Mike had the baby, and the reason why we found out about the baby was Mike had met my son. Okay, prior to the baby being born. And after having a baby for 6 months or so, the paternity test came back.
Mm-hmm.
When it came back from Mike, this is what Mike told me. This is his version of what he told me.
Mm-hmm.
When the paternity test came back negative, the reason why he took the paternity test because he was going for custody of what he thought was his child.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when he took the paternity test, and you have to have one in order to get custody, it came back negative.
Mm-hmm.
So at the point that he called Drea and told her that she needs to come and get the child. At that point, she told him that she was going to put the child up for adoption.
Mm.
Mike told, her name is Stephanie, that's her name. There's this Caucasian woman named Stephanie that Andrea was going around saying it was her mother, and I thought it was her mother for a period of time, and that she had a sister named Nene. Stephanie started named Nene, but her Andrea looked just alike, so I thought that it was maybe her foster mother, but it found out later on it wasn't her foster mother. But anyway, Stephanie knew my son because they worked together at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
So when Mike told Stephanie that he was going to get Dre was going to put the baby up for adoption, just one second.
Mm-hmm. So, Stephanie is okay.
1 second. So if you said Stephanie wasn't the real mama, it was a friend?
I don't know. I'm about to find out.
Okay.
That connection is kind of rough.
I don't know right now. I'm sorry. That was
That's all right. So,
no problem.
So who is Stephanie again? You said Stephanie was her.
Turns out to be a friend, her friend's mother. So, but I can tell you all about that. Stephanie turned out to be her friend's mother, which the whole time I thought she was her mother or a foster mother, because I knew from my son, my son and her grew up in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Although I never met her, my son would come home and talk about this young woman had a baby. But she has a son that's older than my grandson. His name is Aiden. And Aiden lives with his great-grandmother, because the great-grandmother had helped her grandson get custody, and then he ended up running off leaving that baby with his grandmother. So this baby is older than Junior. He would be about 14 right now.
So she has another child older than your grandson?
Yeah, I met Aiden. I met him when he was little. Wait, so Aiden is Andrea's oldest? His name is Aiden Montgomery.
So you got
that's
Andrea's oldest son?
That's the firstborn child.
Oh.
So we thought your grandson was the oldest. So it's another one
we
older.
thought so.
No.
Oh God.
When she was coming to high school, my son and her was platonic friends at the time. They didn't get together until he went to college. And I guess they were friends for benefits, should be said. And then when she got pregnant, she didn't know who she was pregnant at. So at this time, she's messing with Michael. She's messing with Bishop Cousins, but I don't know that yet. And she's messing with my son. So
my God.
She put it on my son originally, then put it on Michael. Took it off of Bishop Cousins because at the time Bishop Cousins had a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where we at now? So anyway, so she has a son named Aiden. He lives with his that time was like 80 years old. Grandma was 80 years old. So I'm not sure what the status is with her at this moment and with the child. But I know she had been left by her grandson to raise her great grandson by herself. But that's significant a little bit down the line. Anyway, so after Michael tells Stephanie that Andrea's going to give the baby up for adoption, Stephanie said, "No, I know who father is." They happen to like my son. Stephanie, Mimi, all of them, they like my son. They knew my son. In fact, he was living in the same building. No, he was living with me at the time. He didn't live in today's building until later.
Mm-hmm.
And because he was home from college.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephanie is the one that initially told my son about his son because the baby was supposed to be given up for adoption. So I come home from work. So basically, my son goes from a college student to a father overnight, like one day. So I come home from work. And I'm an Instagram mom because I come in, my son got this baby at my back table.
Oh, wow. He brought the baby to the, okay.
Brought the baby to the house. So the baby looks just like my son the day I brought my son home from the hospital. So even though I was behind him, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. You said. The baby was looking like my son. I called his daddy over like, you got a baby. And this baby was like, "Dude, and you need to get over here." And but at that time, so we get Junior. He is 6, going on 7 months, and he divorced. He makes some beautiful kids. I think he's so beautiful. So now, mind you, I don't have 4 of my own kids. I'm divorced. I got 2 twins. I got 2 sons. So I'm not really trying to raise somebody else's kid, but I'm going to help out. I'm going to help my son, support my son, and help out. So the whole idea was she was telling me that she was going to school and she was working. So at that point, I told my son, I said, "Well, I don't know what you're going to do about college because you're a man now, you have to stay here, and you need to help her. We're going to help her." So I called the babysitter that used to keep my kids. I said, "It's maintenance." And I said, "Well, the least we can do is get it back and forward to the daycare and stuff like that." So about 3 weeks of that goes on, but we don't have no daycare vouchers. We don't have no daycare vouchers. So my son is sitting around the house, and I'm like, "You can't continue to sit around the house because you got to go to work." So I come up to Freya, and I asked her, this is when I discovered that she didn't want her child. So I asked her on several different phone calls if she had vouchers. She's looking down, she has a voucher. Then it got to the point where, when you're going to be home, or you're going to be home today, tomorrow, whatever. It got to the point where, I don't have to be home, just put them in the mailbox, Then it got to the point where it was like, what? I know she's young, and young people, some of them just don't have it. So, I told her, like, if you don't have the vouchers, it's okay to submit to me. If you don't have them, I'll pick you up. I'll take you downtown. You can fill out the paperwork. okay, well, if you're going to put them in the mailbox, by this day, then we're going to have to come get it. So I came home from work, it was about to snow outside. And I didn't see the stuff because I waited 2 more days and I called her and I said, Drea, you're going to have to come and get the baby because we all have to work around here and I got to find a doctor. And honey, she went, you old bitch. And she called me a bunch of names. And that's when I was like, oh, bitch, she wants this baby. Like, she just totally flipped the script. She called me a bunch of names. And I texted her back. I got low on her level. And I told her to go jump off a bridge with her. So, so at that point, she just disappeared. Right?
She abandoned the baby?
Imagine we haven't seen her since she dropped the baby off. That's why I'm asking for vouchers. But we don't help her.
Okay, can I ask a question? Miss Figgs? So you said okay, so Stephanie told, Stephanie heard from Michael and he was trying to give the baby back to Andrea because he thought it wasn't his.
That's right.
So Stephanie told her son.
That's right.
And then Andrea brought the baby over to your house where your son was.
I don't know where he got the baby from. I know they met from somewhere and his baby ended up in my house.
So when you got custody, what caused you to have to get physical custody and legal custody?
Well, I'm gonna tell you. So after she disappeared for like a year and a half, she
was gone for a year.
Yeah, at this point, I don't have no birth certificate.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I don't have no anything for this baby, so I can't take this baby to the doctor.
Right? Jesus Christ.
And like I said, I'm raised 4 kids, so I'm trying to mind my business. These are both adults.
Right.
And I'm telling my son, you need to get off that game, and you need to go down there and get custody, want the safety or whatever, before she pops back up or something. But so in between, this is the kicker. In between us having this baby, she would call us from different numbers. I think at the time they had started some internet numbers. And every now and then she would call us, or she would send a text message to us. And in the text message, she would say, there's a Amber Alert out for Michael Henderson Jr. That's big. That was his name at the time. And the first time she did it, I had the baby in the back seat and I was running errands, and I said, it's an Amber Alert for Michael Henderson Jr. Well, I said, well, what's going on? I pulled over because I got the baby.
Right.
I pulled over, so I try to call the number back and I can't. So I end up calling the police station and I get this sergeant on the phone and I'm telling him the text message that I got, if there's anything like that, I need to clear it up, So he's asking me all these personal information about me and the daddy and the mother, and I can't answer her questions. And he hold on, ma'am, he's got an attitude, and he gets back on the phone. He says, ma'am, I don't know who's playing games, if it's you, your son, or whatever like that, but we don't have no Amber Alert for no 10-month-old baby, we get those right way, etc. And so I'm like, okay. So that was the first time she did it. Then another time she did it again. And this time was a warrant out for my son's arrest for kidnapping.
Are you serious?
I'm telling the truth here. I wouldn't make this up. I wouldn't even know how to make it up, and I couldn't believe it.
I believe you. I'm just it's shocked. That's all.
I'm shocked right now. Yeah. I never heard anything like it in my life, but it gets deeper than that.
Okay, can I ask a question? Where was your son? Was he working or was he going back to college?
he was at this point. He's home, and he needs to find a job. And
Mhm.
he's not go back to college. He's a man now. He needs to help take his son.
Right.
I was working. He was babysitting because we don't have no vouchers for baby.
Mm-hmm. So what? So was the warrant? Was it a real warrant that he had issued?
No, I take him. She called. She sent another text. There was always few and far apart. They might be like 3 months apart, 6 months apart. So I go and take him. I take my son to the police station because I'm coming home from grocery store when I get to that. So I take him to the police station nearby to see if there's a warrant or what they go for him. And we get in there, and the officer run his name, and he like, no, you have no warrant, but you got these tickets. So I'm like, okay. So then after she's done that like 4 times, I had to learn how to go on the sheriff's website to kind of just like look it up without calling the officer or going through the police department. I had to learn how to look it up.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Did she ever try to issue a warrant for you?
No, not at this time. No, none of this time. This is just mind games that she's playing. These are mind games that she's running. Okay, and it's messing with my peace. It's messing with my time and all of it. But you still have to stop and make sure that she doesn't do it for real, and you don't know about it.
Right.
You know, so finally, like a year and a half goes by, and she called, said that she want to pick the baby up. Okay. Yeah, she said she want to pick the baby up, and she want to see the baby.
She was in Cincinnati all that time.
No, I don't think she was. I think she was here near God. We speculate she was between New Jersey and Cincinnati sometime. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we speculate. So,
Jesus Christ.
So,
Ms. Free, can I ask a question? Have you ever met her parents, or have you ever talked about parents?
Never. I think my son said she was foster care. I never met the parents. Period.
So she never was. So she
the
was.
Mother was supposed to be. Her mother, from what I heard, grew up on a rough side of town, and she was prostituting from time to time, and she was supposed to get pregnant by one of her white sons. And
I'd heard that.
And then her mother was supposed to move out to Las Vegas and got married and had some more kids.
Because she was living in Vegas at one time when we found that out. She was in Vegas at one time. I don't know if she was with her mom or what, but so there was never an adoption by a minister or anything. She was claiming at one time she had been adopted by a minister and his wife. You never met anybody like that?
It would be a question for my son would probably know that question, because if it was in high school. I don't know if her adopted mom, her foster mom adopted her or no, but I did hear that they were really good people. I heard that they bought her a car trying to put her through college and stuff like that, and it just didn't pan out right. Anyway, so the next segment is, so she comes popped up, and she said she wants to see the baby. So I said, my son, give him to her. I said, give him to her. Because he was tired. You know, he's been walking the floor all night. He was all wore out. He was just tired. Time don't pass now. The baby's a little older, but he's tired. You know, guys, they can't really do it by themselves. You know, and I'm working. So I said, yes to her. So she called me all day long. I mean, she was glued to your phone. She called me all day long. And so I told her, I said, I'm not at home. You know, I don't know why Jermaine's not answering the phone. I think at the time I didn't have a house phone. And I said, but when I get home, I will call you and let you know if him and the baby can see her or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I got home kind of late.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got home, prior to getting home, my daughter called and said that she was not feeling good. She had asthma. And so I knew when I got home, if I checked her, I was going to have to take her to the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got home, I called her. And I told her, they are here, and, you can come by the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, my car was down, so my sister had brought me home.
Mm-hmm.
And I called my sister back. I said, I need you to come back and, take us to the emergency room or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, okay, I'm on my way back. So in between my sister getting there, Drea shows up with her. I think one was a relative and one was a friend. I don't know who they were.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when she gets out the car and she comes, Maine brings the baby down the back step, and we all are on the foyer,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm passing. I need my sister don't pull up. I need to get in the car or something,
Mm-hmm.
Get ready to pull up. I need to get in the car. I don't about none of this. But then Julian don't know her. So he don't want to go to her.
Mm-hmm.
So he reaches out for me, So I'm like, okay, because I'm walking past, he reaches out for me. So I'm like, okay, I reach out to him. Like, basically, I'm thinking, let me calm him down and try to get him to go to her. So when I reach out for Julia, she reaches out and grabs my arm. So I'll move her arm. The next thing I know, she done grabbed my hair.
Mm.
So she done grabbed my hair. So
you had to put them hands on her.
Yeah, I had to put my hands on her. At this point in time, she's pregnant, but she's so thin, I don't even know it. So I get her down. I got the other girls. They done jumped out the car. They beating on the back. And my son, I'm like, y'all can't do nothing with my mama's still out there. I got to stop her. He pulled them off or whatever. So I got Drea balled up a little bit, and I tell her, I said, Drea, I said, I'm going to let you go. I said, I'm going to tell you right now, if you swing on me, I'm going to have to hurt you. Because I'm a professional. And I can't be going to work trying to explain no black eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
I'll be fine. I can't go explain no black eye or none of that. And you got my neighbors ain't never seen nothing like this. And here we are with all this racket. So I'm going to let you go, but don't swing or put your hands on me. Right? Mm-hmm. So I let it go. So they get in the car, they go down to the front. I'm thinking they gone. I'm coming out my house with my daughter, and she's in the front. Now, she don't walk. My driveway is lengthy. You can probably park on my property. You could probably park 9 or 10 cars.
Mm-hmm.
So she don't walk the distance from the back of the house to the front. She don't fell down to the ground. I called the police and the paramedics, and this is what she said.
Mm.
She told them that my baby boy, who was upstairs in the house, now I got to explain, the house was 2,700 square feet. Okay? And I bought it from a white guy that had a Caucasian. We say white guy down here, we're not racist when we say that, but I know other regions don't say white or white people. We say white and black.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to remember to say Caucasian because I live in other places. So.
Mm-hmm.
But I bought this house from this Caucasian man, and he did a very good job making it soundproof.
Mm-hmm.
So on the inside of the house, because we live on a busy street,
mm-hmm.
you can't hear the outside. So when all the racket was going on the outside, my baby boy, who was in 12th grade, didn't hear none of it. Didn't hear none of it.
Mm-hmm.
So he never comes out or nothing. So I go to the front, and the police is here, and the parents is here, and if these 2 white boys pull up, they jumped out the car. By this time, my sister's here. She's trying to figure what's going on. I'm trying to explain to her what's going on. These 2 white boys walk past me, my sister, and the police. So, and the paramedics. So
Mm-hmm.
they went to the back of the property, and we like, hold on, what's going on right here? So they tell me that they wanted to go pick my baby head off. I said, what? She done told her people that my baby boy kicked her in the stomach. Now he ain't even came outside yet, and still he ain't came outside yet, and still he has not came outside. So,
Jesus Christ.
Oh, mercy.
so I'm like, okay, that was working. I got this child, don't have no record, who's in his 12th grade, who don't even know what is taking place out here. You think it's going to go up on my property and to talk to my child while all of us is standing here. And at that point, I'm like, you know what? If y'all get off my property, I'm calling all these niggas that I know. So, and we going to tear Hamilton Avenue up. We going to tear this street up. So the police, of course, the police intervened. So at this point, the paramedics they don't finish checking her. They get in their truck. They tell the police what it is. They get in the fire truck and they leave her. Okay, they say nothing wrong with her. Ain't nothing wrong with her.
Mm-hmm.
So they get in the fire truck and they leave her. The police talked to me and my son, and I remember that man said, "If I can't man boy, you so did his son." He told my son, and I shook my head. I said, "You still here?" And he said, "Okay." I said, I'm gonna escort her on out or whatever like that. And honey, she went to what's your police badge number, all of this stuff. She took all that information down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my son, he leaves. Everything's calm. I go ahead and take my daughter to the doctor and all of that. And I wasn't ready for what was coming next. So,
Oh Lord, I need a drink.
You said a bottle of wine.
I'm trying to sum it up.
It's someone.
It's okay. Just go on and tell me, because my God, she is pure evil. She is pure evil.
Next thing I know, she done came to my house. She done put a warrant out on me. Said I jumped her and beat her at my house. And she trying to put a warrant out on my baby boy. Saying that he kicked her in the stomach and etc.
Mm-hmm.
And I told the police, I said, well, she gonna do all that. I need to put a warrant out. One at my house or whatever. I need to put a warrant out on her friends, but whoever they were, because they done came up here and that's what my situation. So the officer says, we're not gonna allow her to put a warrant out on your son. Or we're not gonna allow you to put a warrant out on her people. He said you can put a warrant out on her, but not on her on her people, because we're not gonna allow her to put a warrant out on your son because we told her that she needs to bring up evidence from the hospital, from a doctor saying that she was injured due to my son kicking her in the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And the officer said, as of now, that's been 3 days ago, we haven't gotten anything.
Mm.
So I said, okay, fine, And so anything that's gonna kill my son, this is, I don't care if I could deal with her in court and all the rest of that. So in between this, she comes to the house and she has officers come to the house because she has put out a kidnapping charge on Julius Body.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
So that's a whole other topic. So she comes and tells the court that we kidnapped her. She let me come over for Christmas and we just didn't never give you back. That's what she told me.
Oh my God.
This is all in court records, by the way. This is all in court records. So I said, okay. I said, see, I told you to go down there and get custody before she pop up trying to do something like this. And you didn't handle your business. And I'm pissed because now I have to get involved. She don't know how to handle this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to let you come over here after you've been, raising a baby and we don't know where the heck you've been at. And you want to, she's not charged by somebody because my son don't have no records on that. So now I have to step in. I have to get involved. So, so I had to spend money getting attorneys, and I found out I had to get 2 attorneys. Not one attorney, I had to get 2 attorneys. So,
one for each one of your.
I had to get a family attorney, and I had to get a dad in that license. So, I said, okay. So the family attorney, which came, which was the guardian right, and both my attorneys worked both. I had to pay criminal attorney for the kidnap charges. Both my attorneys, they split that, and then I had to have the family attorney and the guardian license. So you could pay 3 attorneys all together. But my 2 attorneys, they worked together in the same crime. So I said, okay, and at this point. So it's so much in between. So at this point, do you need to take a break to get some water? No.
Okay. All right.
I'm just trying to remember the sequence because there was so much.
Take your time. Take your time.
Mm-hmm. At this point, I have to. What happened next? Okay, so I get the attorney, and then. This word is coming in it. But next thing I know, I get a phone call from Michael Henry. And this is how cousins get all involved. This is how all this get involved. I didn't know I was going to go down Church Street with all of this. Okay, so we got this stuff pending in the court. And I'm dealing with my attorneys and stuff. And so I get a call from Michael Henry, who would call me from time to time. I would let him see the baby because he was attached to the baby. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to help him bring this stuff off the baby and stuff like that. Because he don't have any children. He still don't have any children. So Mike called me. He said, is something wrong with the baby? And I said, no, what's all this wrong with him? And he said, well, when the last time you seen him in Jermaine? I said, well, I got the baby right now, and, Jermaine, that's. So I said, why? What's going on? And he said, well, Drea, he said what was that? It wasn't Twitter. What was out before Facebook? What was that one?
MySpace.
Maybe MySpace or something, I don't know. But anyway, so he said, well, it's all over the internet that the baby died. I said, huh?
Oh.
So he said, well, the baby is, I said, the baby died. He said, well, she's not saying those words exactly, but she's making it as if the baby has died. So people are giving condolences. And I'm like, well, no. I'm like, no, it ain't nothing wrong with the baby or this and that. So Mike tells me that because he works for Colin Jordan.
Colin Jordan Funeral Home.
He says that he was off that day. The phone calls came into him. He said his job called him and said, Mike, we giving your condolences or whatever like that. And he said, what do you mean? He said, the baby just had blah, blah, blah. So that's when Mike called me. So at this point, I couldn't figure out why he wanted him. And I had asked a couple of, my clients that were older women. And I was like, before all this happened with the Howard Jordan and all of that, I asked them, I said, well, why does she want him? Because she got another baby that's being raised at his 80-year-old woman. So she wanted help out. She needs to go get him and help with him or whatever like that. Because I thought several times about trying to get him, but I decided my place was full. So, anyway, my older women, one of them said she was killing. That's what they said.
She said what?
This was before.
Well, I'm sorry. What did you? I'm sorry. What did you say?
Hold on.
One of my other clients, Cassandra Robinson, she's done the Black Family Reunion here, which is a major event. She's done it for over 30-something years, and she's a person of recognition here in this city. So I asked her, I talked to her, and I confided in her what was going on, and I was like, I don't understand why she won. And she said she would kill him. She would have something happen to him. Maybe she got life insurance or something on him. And I had never thought about that, right? So when she said it, like my stomach had a pit of, my stomach started hurting in the bottom of my pit. And then when I finally talked to my mom about it, and her and Cassandra was about the same age or whatever, so when I finally had a chance to talk to my mom about what was going on or whatever like that, she turned around and did the same thing. She said she would kill him. She would, make it like it was a drowning or not watching like it. So now I got two older women saying this. So I'm anointed out now, as the kids would say. I'm like, really? So I'm like, oh my God. So then, after I confide with these older women, then I get this call from Michael saying that it's all over the internet that he's supposed to be deceased, the baby. Okay. So Michael said that somebody came up to the funeral home to verify the baby's body from the church.
Victor Cousins?
Yes. When I called the director of the nursing home, his name was Michael something. I can't remember his last name. I mean, of the funeral home, his name was Michael something, but I can't remember his last name.
The owner? It was the owner. It was the owner.
Michael somebody.
Yeah, it was the owner.
So, he the owner? Okay. Well, I didn't know that. So, I called him, and I asked him. I said, because now we kind of like entered into this custody case, too. We going back and forward to court with all this pending and stuff like that, and we got kidnap charges pending and all this stuff like that, so we going back and forward. So, I called the director of the funeral home or the owner, and I asked him, did somebody come up there and identify a baby's body? Because I didn't know the churches give money away for that, right? So I called the church first. I asked the church what's the procedure. I didn't tell them who I was. I just told them if I needed, pay for what the procedure is. And they told me that they first have to go to the funeral home and identify the body and verify that it's a body there, and then they write the check to the funeral home or whatever. So I think with her being young and her having an affair with Bishop Cousins, I think that she thought that she can just say this and that she'll just something like that. Because you got the board too that has to release this money, and you have to have the paperwork. But she didn't know that. I don't think she knew that at all. So anyway, when I talked to Michael and asked him if he would verify that somebody came up there and who came up there, he told me, he said, well, I will, but only if you have a what's that? I'm sorry. When you get it from the courts where they give you a subpoena. So I said, okay. So at that point, I called Bishop Cousins' church back. I asked to speak with Bishop. Now, I already knew that Bishop had a scandal prior, a couple years prior, because a couple of my clients attended his church. And I'm not interested in any drama or in exposing a past or whatever. That's not my place, right? But at this point, I am interested in not getting this baby, allowing this baby to go into her hands, because I understand now that she might want to do some harm to him. Okay, so me putting together in my mind is that she couldn't get him for an insurance claim. She couldn't get him out of my hands. So that was so the reason why she couldn't get him out of my hands at the time is because, again, she played with the police department. She called the police department day and night. They call me, they send us to where's the baby at? And I said, well, I got the baby, but at this time I had sent the baby somewhere else because I was like, she is not getting this baby until we go to court. And they said, well, you have to give it to her because she is custodial parent or whatever like that, so you have to give up the baby. At this point, we had 3 more days for court. So I was like, well, I'm going to stay at the baby because 3 more days for court. So I just act like I couldn't die my son. So in this meantime, we don't get to the court, and we get into the court, and which turned out to be a blessing in disguise that she got the police involved because they worked against her. Because when we got to court, she decided to lie on the police department. And it was such a big deal. She had called the police department so many times that the lieutenant decided he was going to escort, or the lieutenant was a woman, she was going to escort us to court. She wanted me to bring that baby. She said, if you don't bring that baby, I'm going to have to arrest your son. And she said, we need for you to come over here to the main police department, and we're going to escort you to court with the baby so that when the judge say who this baby belongs to or go to, we're going to make sure that baby go with you or her, okay? So when we get down to the court, and we in the court, and she's saying that she's had the baby every Sunday at church. She said she got, and I told Drea, I said, Drea, bring your best lies. I hung up, and I should have never did that because she brought them. She said she had, for this whole year and a half, she got people that can verify that she's been bringing the baby to church. She got people that verify that she's been taking them to daycare. Yes, she did. Every day she got where she's been taking them to daycare. She told me that she got people where she can verify that she's been taking the baby to the doctor. So she had me looking at my son sideways because I'm looking at him like, you ain't telling me something, you know. I mean, that's how convincing her life was. I was looking at him like, well, maybe he ain't telling me something, you know. So I say in court, and I knew I couldn't ask this in court, but I asked anyway to ask a full point. So I said, well, what size doctor do he wear? And she skipped right over that, like I didn't ask that question. She kept going on and on about her attorney. She kept saying she had an attorney that was going to come, but he got stuck in traffic.
And we've heard that lie before. We've heard that lie before.
Y'all heard that before? Y'all heard that before. So she said he got stuck in traffic, and he told her that she could proceed forward if need be. So that was her thing. So the judge asked me and her if we wanted to proceed. At that time, my attorney couldn't be there either because the case was so sudden. So my attorney told me to go forward with it because I would have to turn him over. So I said, okay. So when the judge asked both of us if we want to set aside our right to have an attorney and proceed forward, I said yes, and she said yes. When she bursted out in court, she bursted out because he wanted her to do I'm getting ahead of myself. At this point, he asked the police department, what were they doing there? Right? So, because they standing in the back of the room, so he asked them, what are y'all doing there? It was like 3 of them. So they told the officer, the judge, that they were there to make sure that whatever he rules, the baby goes with the right person. So at this point, she goes in full-time lying on the police department saying that she saw her baby and kidnapped, and they could call her back for 27 days. And when I tell you the lieutenant and those people, they kind of read it in a beat. They was so mad at her, and they said, Your Honor, that's not how we handle kidnap cases. When we get a kidnap case involving a child, we jump on it right away. She has never called us and told us her baby was kidnapped, etc. And when she did call in and put the kidnap charge, we got on it right away. So at that point, the judge said to her, to the lieutenant, well, who do you think that this baby is best with? Okay. And the lieutenant said, well, I I've been in this big house which they had came to my house. I invited them in. They sat down and we talked. And I just let them know, honey, I ain't trying to raise nobody else's kid. I got time. So, and to Andrea Garrison's house, and we feel like the baby right now at this time is best off with this kid. So that's when Dre up and got loud and belligerent with the judge, and then the judge asked her if she wanted visitations and stuff like that, and she stormed out the courtroom before she would get visitation. So then he sent out the bailiff to go get her because she was in the hallway making a bunch of noise. So the bailiff tried to get her to come back in so they can move forward with this visitation. Okay. And she decided that she didn't want no visitations, that she kept going. Okay. So then.
So she walked off.
She walked off.
Oh my God.
So then next thing I know, we get another date to go to court because she don't now lie and say the judge violated her rights. He made her without an attorney. So now we gotta go upstairs and see another judge. Okay, so we 30 days later we in court for that. So we go upstairs to see another judge. And let me tell you something, she's never on time for court. Never on time for court. So to be there at 9, I didn't even know you could call the court and tell the court that you was running behind. I didn't know you could do that. I just felt like they were giving her a bunch of privileges because she was more like on the right side. Because I didn't know you could do that. I thought you had to be on time.
You have to have a valid reason. You have to have a valid reason, like a medical emergency or something happened. Somebody.
Whatever she was telling them, they was working with her. I would get there, me and my son, at 9 in the morning, on time, outside the court door at 9. And they went here, I came to 1 because they waiting on her. You hear me? I've been there all that time waiting on her. And I just never seen nothing like it. So we get upstairs and honey, she better run. She started calling my attorney. She would call, once she learned my attorney name, she called his office. She started calling him. I said, okay. So we get upstairs and in order for them to prove that her rights were violated, she was supposed to have had all the court docket, the pages pulled up, and you had to pay for each page. Okay. So she claimed that she didn't know she had to pay for each page, so they pushed it out for another 30 days. Then we get back for 30 after 30 days, and she claimed the same thing. Oh, I didn't know. I thought when the receptionist don't call her to get her to go in and get those pages and stuff like that. She said she thought the receptionist told her that she was going to pay for the pages or whatever. So now this is going from 30 days to 90 days. So we go back after 90 days, and we in the courthouse. And we in the courtroom, and she says to the judge, she got this big gold bag, y'all. I can't make this up. She got this big giant gold bag like you get from Dollar Tree around Christmas time. And she tells the judge that her problem is not with Jermaine. Now, he wasn't got the kidnap charges. Her problem is with me, and that I'm trying to keep him and her to get along. And that the baby's birthday is coming up, and she would like to know if she can get permission to give me this gift for the baby, right? So I'm like, the judge looks at me and say, well, could she give you the gift? Now she's like, that's my mother. Now she's talking about Stephanie. And that's my sister, Nene, Stephanie's daughter. And they haven't seen Bud either. She started crying and everything like that. And I'm sitting there and I just want to blurt out in court that ain't her mother or her sister, but that's not professional. She's keeping him from my family, getting to know my family. So I'm looking at her and I'm steaming on the inside, but I know I can't show it on the outside. So she comes over to give me, I said, yeah, she can give me the bag for the baby. So she puts this big bag on the side of the desk where I'm sitting at. Okay. Now, mind you, we also been to court for the assault charges. They dropped mine. They still got hers, $5,000 warrant out, and they're not, she missed court. And I tell the bailiff, like, she got a warrant out for arrest or whatever. At this point in time, I'm pissed, so I want to see her get arrested. Mm-hmm. They were not arrested. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I haven't seen nothing like it. So when we get up and we go out into the hallway after this court session is over, I got the baby bag in my hand, and when I get to the car, I know it's rather light, right? So when we get to the car and go into the bottom of the bag, it's a little bitty Tonka truck. It's a little bitty Tonka truck.
Oh, wow.
And I said, oh my goodness, if I knew that she played this kind of mind game, I would have opened this up in the porch right in front of the judge. So I just said, oh, I can't believe this. So anyway, so we end up coming back to try to get some type of visitation in place for her and the baby, okay, and between my sons, okay. Because
is this another 30 days or like the next day?
Not the next day. This was probably like 2 weeks later. So this goes into like 90 days, 2 weeks later. So they want to get something in place for her to see her child. Okay. Now, in between all this, we fight the kidnap charges. We get the kidnap charges dropped. Okay. So we don't went to court for the assault. That they'll drop mine. They still got hers open. And I think somebody called me when all this stuff went on the internet and said hers was still open, so that's how they ended up calling me. So, at this point, we still in custody now. We still in custody and everything. So I'm calling Bishop Cousin's church back and forward, trying to get a hold of him. And my anger with him is, you don't have your name. You don't even say you was involved. I'm not even trying to expose you. I just need for you to have one of your ministers under you write the letter in that they went to verify that Michael Henderson Jr. was deceased and it was a lie. Okay? I need you to put a hold in this custody case for me. Okay? So, but I cannot get him on the phone. So I went to his church. I went to Bible study. I went to Sunday service. I put on my best Sunday clothes and went and set up in there because I'm like, he's going to talk to me before it's over with, right? So finally, I talked to my attorney. I said to my attorney, look, I said, do we need this to win this case right now? Because if I got to throw this pastor on the bus, I will, right? I got things to my club to save my grandson. I'm really not trying to do that. So at that point, my attorney says, no, we don't need that to win this case. And I said, cool. And at that point, Bishop Cousin never heard from me again. I never called him again, and that's why. Because my attorney said, we don't need to win the case. I said, cool. So, and at that point, so we go back to the judge upstairs to get visitation set. So when we go to get the visitation set, they actually are trying to set it up where the rules was it couldn't be at a family member's house and nobody else could be there. He could, I couldn't be there. None of her friends or family could be, none of her family or nothing like that could be there. Only the person whose house they set it at. So they asked if we have any mutual friends, and I'm like, no, nobody like us, and nobody like us. So, so they ended up setting a visitation for Stephanie's house. The woman who was actually a friend, not a mother, okay? They set it at Stephanie's house. So me and my son, we agreed, right? But now I know we just got kidnapping charges dropped. I know I'm dealing with a liar, but you're going to tell me that my son got to go over there into their element and be by himself than her. So at this point, I said, no, I'm not going to let that happen because the next thing she'll say is that he hit her or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't going to do that. So I said, but I'm going to go on over there. So what I did was I went over there. I took my lawn chair, I took me a book, I took my junk rope, and I took me a big giant cup of water and an umbrella, and I camped out on the sidewalk without a car. So, and I was like, I'm going to sit right here till the visitation is up, but I'm not going to just leave him over here by himself.
How long was the visitation for?
What'd you say?
How long was the visitation?
It was supposed to be, I can't tell you because this is the only one we had before she disappeared.
I mean, so how long were they allowed? An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, what?
I think it was like 3 hours or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm sitting on the sidewalk with my water and my book and my umbrella and my lawn chair, I see her turn around. She got 2 young ladies with her panties for shorts and outfits and stuff, and they going in the house. So I said, whoa. Ain't nobody allowed in there but you, him, and Stephanie. Right? Oh, they got to use the bathroom. I said, well, they got to walk back up to that corner and they got to go to that gas station bathroom right there because nobody's going in their house but y'all. So the little young lady, they turned around, went back down the street, and next thing I know, Jermaine came out, Junior came out. Junior was playing in the grass, and Drea was right there, whatever, watching Junior play. And then that was it. That was the last visitation. She didn't show up. We kept going because Ron Tiny said keep going. We went 3 times. Mm-hmm. And Tiny Town said you don't have to go no more because she never was there. At that point, I'm getting phone calls from Mike now. He's calling me, telling me he don't sell out with this cousin, don't cuss them out. They farming out or whatever like that.
Who is this? I'm sorry, who is that again?
Mike called me.
Mm-hmm.
Mike called me, and he's telling me that he don't have all this back and forth conversation with this cousin. They don't sell out, and this cousin don't cuss him out, and all this other stuff, you know. And the next thing I know, Drea calls me out of the blue, and she apologizes for the trouble she stirred up, and then she's gone. She's like, left the city. She goes to, I guess, I think she went to Vegas, or she went to New Jersey one. It was one or the other. Mm-hmm. So, with all that being said, we end up going back to the court, and we end up with custody. Or whatever.
You got full custody now, right?
I get full custody, which I was actually going to help Jermaine get custody, but the judge gave me custody at the time. He was like, well, let's see if he was you, we're going to give it to you. So I was like, oh, well, that ain't what you supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm just trying to help out. So here it is. I got a baby. So. Which my son thought was funny, and I didn't think it was funny. So, and my stomach started hurting. So I said, okay. So the next thing I know, we don't hear from her for about 3 years later. Why? So she pops up 3 years later, and she wants custody of her son. So. But she didn't stick around to know that I'm the one got custody, not the man. Okay? So when I got custody, that allowed me to get a birth certificate. Okay? And I went to court for about a whole year to get his name changed, to get Michael's name off. I had to pay for paternity test to do that. To get the child's right name put on there. That's a whole other story.
Yeah, I can relate. I can relate. I'm doing that myself with my youngest.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. You have to walk through the law library when you do that because there is clauses in it. And you get up. So, I had to do that, paid money for that, and all of that. So now, His name is no longer Michael Henderson Jr. He's named after my son, and his name is on the birth certificate of my father and mother and all of this. So prior to her popping up, I would call Mike, and I called Mike and told Mike that I would take care of that business. And I called Mike the day it was done, when it was finalized in court. So Mike, so he would know that he's set free from that. He don't have to worry about another child having his name that's not a storyline, etc. So one day Mike called me, Miss Miller, did you say you changed the name and all that stuff? I said, yes, I did, Mike. I told you I took care of that. He said, well, Dre is calling, talking about you taking me child support. I said, Mike.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I said, don't worry about all this change. Then she pops up. She finally pops up, and she's taking my son for custody, but she's taking the wrong person. She needed to take me. So when we get to the court, now I ain't going to all these years. You couldn't get nothing for this baby because she was in New Jersey. She was still claiming the baby.
So she was claiming the baby on her taxes and everything, and you weren't able to get no.
She wasn't claiming him on taxes, but she was claiming him for food stamps, vouchers, the whole. Oh my goodness!
And see, that's illegal in New Jersey because I lived in New Jersey.
That's right. That's right.
Okay,
so that's illegal. And we kept telling them that, but they wouldn't do nothing about it. It wasn't until he did this. So she came back for custody of the baby. She wanted child support, okay? And she wanted to get she wanted to get custody from my son, and she wanted to get child support, etc. So when we got to go downtown, me and my son, and this is the first time I've seen her in years, and she is sitting in there. She looks nice and everything, and she's telling the lady that she needs a child support and all of this. So we said no. You know, first of all, I got custody and this and that. So she this is when she found out that the name has been changed. Okay. So we told, the lady that the name has been changed and all of this, and she tell the lady that we learned that we had to make a false birth certificate and all this other this and that. And I'm like, nah. What she tried to do was she tried to take Mike for child support, because she thought that Mike was actually on a birth certificate. So she was going to hit Mike up knowing that he was not the father. So the first time she called in and said, I'm taking you for child support, that was just a threat. But the time she popped up, she had actually tried to take Mike to child support. But the birth certificate had been changed. So he had to take us. But on the flip end, she ends up in that lady's office. She ends up having to pay child support. Okay. Because, and then she turned around and said to the lady, well, Miss Jamela makes more money than I do. She makes more money than both of us. So, wouldn't she, why would I have to pay her child support? And that lady told her, she said, wait a minute. She said, this is not Miss Jamela's responsibility. She said, this responsibility ain't nobody but yours, me and my son. Yours and my son and his. She said, yours and his. Y'all two supposed to be taking care of this baby. So she ended up telling a sad story. Now, mind you, before we sat down, before we could get here good, she talked about how she got to get married to this guy in the military.
The father of her last two kids.
Yeah, the father of her last two kids.
Okay. And she wanted to know from the lady if she could use power of attorney in Ohio because she needed to get some things and all that. So I was sitting there thinking, like, oh, she's scheming again. So anyway, after she called the baby, getting married too and all this other stuff. And so she ended up telling the lady that she was getting a job. Oh, this is what she told the court.
Mm-hmm.
The lady ended up telling her that she had to pay $110 to child support, which we barely get because she won't keep the job.
Right, because she often brags about quitting jobs online. She's like, I don't keep a job long.
She won't keep the job because she child support. And we barely get it. Every she's got a job, we might get it. Okay. And then we end up going to court before the custody hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. And it was underneath my son. And I remember her turning Patricia. Her name was Patricia somebody. And she came to me in the hallway and she said, people change and this and that, and it's just revenge for everything that she did before. You're trying to get revenge. And I looked at her. I said, first of all, I won the mass court hearing, is what you need to know. And I don't have revenge. I said, but you need to ask her, maybe if this is revenge from the last time she lost. I said, and I will tell you that what you need to do is you need to do your background on her before you decide you want to continue representing her. That's what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked up. I said, and I told her, I said, you know what? I said, I know things happen when people are young, people do things, they make mistakes and stuff like that. I said, has she popped up here and said, Miss Big, I was young, I was making mistakes, I was sorry, or whatever like that, I would like to be in my son's life. I said, therefore, she might have would have had a chance. I said, but when she popped up here with lies again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, you did your research on her, and then I walked out, told her to have a good day. So when we go back to court,
Mm-hmm.
we finally get to court, and when we get in there, before anything, my son already got a screenshot because he was mama, Drea in New Jersey. I said, when? He's like, I got a screenshot this morning. She talking about it's a beautiful day out there. I said, you're kidding me. He said, no, I got the screenshot. When we get down to the court, I'll show you. So we met up and get to court. I looked at the phone. I said, really? So I said, how she got us in court and she in New Jersey. And so, but before we can even get started, the magistrate came out there. And he had told the magistrate that, or the judge that, I'm getting a job at the city and the man's gonna pay me. And the lady kept saying, well, do you have a job now? And I knew what she was doing. She was trying to get at her to build up more child support. She was really popping her foot into her mouth. Mm-hmm. This was prior to all this. So she was like, well, I'm gonna get the man told me to come back in 2 weeks. He says I got the job. So she was really trying to make her look like somebody. Mm-hmm. And it was really putting her foot in her mouth because the magistrate was looking like you could take more child support. So anyway, so the last time we hear from her, she's in New Jersey, hanging out the window, talking in court. And before we can even get started, the judge told us that her attorney dropped her case. And she said, now this is the same person that told me that she was getting a job and that she was going to be working for the courthouse and all this stuff. She said, so the next time she's bothering y'all, I'm going to make sure she's there before me. And that was the last time. That's the last time. That's the last time.
What year was that?
That was, let's see.
Like 2012, maybe?
It might have been 7. It might have been 7. I think he was about 7 years old.
So that's about 3-4 years ago then.
Yeah. It ain't been
okay, like 2016 maybe? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, you do realize because she was using, claiming your grandson to get benefits in New Jersey, they are required when there's a child involved. The child has to have a physical examination. They have to physically see the child before they would allow that. So that was fraud she committed.
Right, they told my son because he reached out to when he tried to get benefits and all that stuff too. I think it was a little more into that.
Mm-hmm.
They told him that she had a child out there that she said was the baby.
So she.
He came home and told me that she had. I said, "What you do, boy? Somebody else's child." And she said that baby was Junior. You know, so I don't know. I didn't even worry about it. I didn't worry about it. Nothing should be a surprise for me.
You just wanted her out your way. That's all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. He don't. You know, it was sad when I first realized that she didn't want the baby. I cried, and then I thought, hey, you know, how could you know, abandon your baby, and he's a really beautiful baby, and she just don't want him. And I just kept looking at him like, she don't want this child. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, at that point, you know, it's sad. If she's on drugs or nothing, I don't know what she's dealing with. I haven't ever heard that she had any molestation or nothing like that. I just think she needs to be delivered. And I don't have no sympathy for Bishop Cousins because he knew from the first time of dealing with her. First of all, he was too old for her. He was past and he was married, and you knew that you was putting the mojo on this young girl. You know what I'm saying? And you knew that you was gonna be all clothed up into her emotions and everything like that. You can lie to her and say you're gonna leave your wife and all of that, or whatever the case was. But when the situation happened with me, him, and her, and all that stuff blew up like that, I just knew that he had learned his lesson and went on and left her alone. So I was shocked to get phone calls on the recent outbreak that they were still messing with each other. Apparently, they went and picked each other up again, found each other again, or whatever like that. And so I was just.
Well, that's according to her.
That's according to her.
We can't believe nothing she says now. You know, according to her.
You can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. I mean, if he did, I mean, you know, it looked like it because from what I seen, the pictures on the beach and the little kid, the kids, he was in the background. So it looked like something going on there. But, I mean, but you can't stop that he married somebody else because you've been playing the role of side chick for a long time. And you're not a 20-year-old no more. So.
Now, how is your son doing now?
My son doing? How he doing? He's doing great. He's back at school. He works for the energy company.
Thank God.
He just good. Thank the Lord. He's just moving up his education, and he's not surprised by none of this. He still has all the. He said, "Mom, I took out all the text messages, all the screenshots, and he said I got them in the folder. He said I got all the messages which told me to get custody, don't call me no more, and this all other stuff." He got everything. So I said, "Okay."
So she was.
You have to do that with her, yeah.
Yeah, you have to keep everything with her, because she's even told people that I was violent and I was threatening to kill people, and she was afraid of me. And I have no romantic involvement with this woman at all. I've never met her. When she lied on Victor Cousins and said he had videotaped them having sex and the whole scandal, you know, I had her come on and I let her tell a story. She lied about some legislation and then stuff just didn't add up. So we started investigating. And that's when we found out about her outstanding warrants for, and evictions and check cashing, writing bad checks and fraud and all that. And then when we talked to Bishop Cousins, he said, you need to speak to the grandmother of her child. And the truth, you will hear all the truth you need. And that's how we got in touch with you. Because he said that lady will tell you the truth.
A mess. And she know not my way. I'm not afraid of her. I will deal with her legally. But she know not to come my way for real.
Right.
I am so contacted you since that time in court.
No, she don't have to come my way.
Not even a card, not even any child support.
I am so sorry you went through all that.
But they take it. If she's working, they take it. If they can get it. If she works long enough. But it's $110 and we can't get it on a regular at all.
Okay.
Well, she's engaged. She's found her a new sugar daddy now. He's a 52-year-old Jewish man.
Well, God help him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she claiming she pregnant by him now.
She's claiming she's pregnant with him, but we're not sure about that because you know
He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything about you.
She was pregnant, and
Hold up, Kim. Hold up.
all of a sudden later on, I'm sorry, Daryl.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know that about your grandchild. He doesn't know about the other one. All he knows about is the youngest two that she does keep because they were by the young man that was in the military. So she is stringing him along and running her game on him now.
He in trouble. He in danger. And he don't even know it because as soon as he figure out if stuff don't go his way, God forbid if he got any kind of business or property or anything like that, she's gonna eat him up alive.
He is very wealthy. He's very wealthy. He comes from old money. As a matter of fact, his father was a prominent attorney here in town where I live. I live in Cleveland or outside of Cleveland. And his father was a prominent attorney. His father died and last year. And he works for Papermate. So they live in Lower Manhattan. They live in a apartment that's about $3,500 a month. So they living good. So that's why you need to go and put the APB out on her because she's up there claiming that she's a model in New York City.
She's plotting on him. She's a young girl to him, and she's beautiful to him. So he's sucking it in. You know what I'm saying? And she's plotting. She doesn't. I don't think she's capable of loving an old man. She's just found her a jackpot of 50 days.
Mm-hmm.
She's plotting. She's gonna get up and get over on him. So if she's smart, she'll stay there and plant her roots and just stay and be happy. But I don't think that she's capable of that.
She's not.
She leaves everything.
She's very evil. She's very evil and conniving. I don't see her doing the right thing by anybody.
I'm saying right now the COVID crisis is keeping her where she is. Because she happens to be in New York, so they're not letting anyone fly or get on planes, and so they have curfews and stuff. So that's the only reason I think.
Because as soon as she get a chance, she gonna probably fly the coop. Because we investigated her.
Yeah, she gonna fly the coop, or she gonna stick around because she needs money, and then she's married for it, she don't get it. So she might stick around longer with him, but I mean, at the end of the day, before it's over with, she's plotting. If she do 5 years with him, that's probably gonna be the gist of it, because she don't figure out how to. If he puts a ring on that finger, it's a wrap ring. So,
Well,
thank you, my pop. But I'm a people person. My business is people. If I dealt with a lot of people, but I've never ever dealt with nobody like her. I've yet to see somebody like her.
I'm just glad your son got her out of his life. So and he went on and she didn't destroy him.
You know not to call him either because he mean. You know, he's short, got the short man syndrome. You know, he's a shorty. And he's a very serious type person. You know, he takes his job serious and he takes everything he does serious. And he always tells me that I'm a kid because, you know, he is just, sometimes, you know, he laugh and joke with who he want to laugh with everybody, but Jermaine he don't play with grown folks, nobody, so, you know, he told me, he said, Mom, he said that they probably just want her out of, you know, their hair.
Oh, she's caused havoc in my life. She has, oh my God, I can't tell you. She tried to set me up on a phone call where she tried to and they recorded me and then tried to edit the tape to make it sound like I was threatening to go murder somebody. And they played it on the internet after they altered it. That's the kind of person she is. I've been dealing with that. I mean, yeah. So I've had my wits end with her. All because I found out she was a liar. Everything that comes, like you said, 90% of everything that comes out of her mouth is a lie.
Yeah. She tried to get me to believe that Daryl was violent and try to get on her side, and then she just turned on me when I refused to believe her lies anymore. So
She is.
So how do you? I mean, so she's stuck in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you end this with her? Have you already ended it with her?
She is threatening to sue. She is threatening to sue me. So I'm just waiting to see what she does. Because if she takes me to court, I'm gonna just nail her good in the courts. I'm gonna deal with her the right way in the courts, just like you did. I'm gonna deal with her raggedy butt in the courts, because this man has no earthly idea who he's laying next to every night. He has no earthly. He's thinking he just got gonna be stepfather to 2 kids. He's got 4 out there. There might be even more than that for all we know, because you know of one other besides your grandson. She might have other kids.
She had there is a baby after my grandson. It's a little boy.
Mm-hmm. That's the one she claims. That's the one that he's about 8, I think.
So,
and then the girl is 5. Those are the
2 is that a soldier guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then she's pregnant. Yeah, and then she's claiming she's pregnant now by the old Jewish guy.
I don't think so. How old is there's a little boy? How old is he?
I want to say he's 8, and then the girl is 5.
He 8, yeah, that'd be about that age of that baby.
Mm-hmm. She's claiming, she's claiming that she's pregnant by this guy now. So I said to him once before, I said, when that baby's born, you need to get you a DNA test. And I said, while she's pregnant, you need to get an ultrasound to make sure if she is in fact pregnant. Once that baby born, you need to make sure that baby's yours. Because she's been attached to some very prominent preacher that was pimping her out to other preachers. That's how she got attached to Victor Cousin. This guy was pimping her out to Victor Cousin, but they was in a sex ring, and we uncovered it. Yeah.
So is that what's probably been going on when she was of young age? Because Stephanie the one told me he was picking her up from the neighborhood. He was picking her up
when she was a teenager.
He was picking her up.
That might be it, because
are you sure it was him or not another man?
Could have been another.
No, she called me. Stephanie didn't keep nothing, but she didn't. Her friends, she called her mother and friends. They didn't keep nothing from me. They told me everything that they knew about it. So they the one. That's how I knew she was messing with him before.
When she was in high school.
Well, let's put it this way. Jermaine was fresh off the college, so it would have had to be high school. So Jermaine was fresh off in his first year of college when she got pregnant.
Like
I said before she got pregnant by Jermaine, she was messing with Mike, and she was messing with Bishop Cousins. So yeah, she would have been 18, 19. I don't know.
So your son and Andrea were in classmates. So she had already just graduated high school, or just stopped going. Did she graduate, or did she just stop going?
Did she graduate? I don't know. I would have to ask Jermaine that. He would know.
So,
I know she in a yearbook, but I think I got a picture. What high school was it? They went to Mount Healthy. They would have graduated from Mount Healthy.
Mount who?
Mount Healthy. Oh, that's right. Y'all not from here.
I live in Ohio. I live right outside of Cleveland. So.
It's in Cincinnati, but it would have been Mount Healthy High School. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she, I feel bad for the guy. I don't know how to warn him. He's not capable of. I don't believe he's capable of really being sincere with someone and having a meaningful relationship with someone, even at this age. So I think he's plotting and he's in for a roller coaster ride.
So she's actually the same age as your son, or a year apart?
Now, I know they're close in proximity. I don't know if they're exactly the same age or a year apart. I never even asked them all of that. I just know that through high school, he was counseling and helping her out because he told me. And I got, my friend, he was telling different things about what she was supposed to be going through with a foster parents, and that she had a baby and things with hospital. So they had been friends for a couple of years before it came about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when a rape was supposed to occur. So I'm like, well, rape.
Mm.
I'm like, rape. I will not.
No, that's the lie that she was putting out there.
That's why I decided to call you. No, I don't think that would make any sense. I mean,
because there would have been an arrest record if that would have happened, a court case.
Yeah, they was in the hospital, and he was talking her. And my son was a real family oriented. He had he was oldest, and he had to help with his sisters, and he had to raise his baby brother, and then he had, because I worked a lot, and then he had other siblings on his dad's side, and I would come home and find babies in my bed, so I didn't know because he was going to be there. He was always trying to bridge the gap between his sisters on his mama's side and his brothers and sisters on his daddy's side. He did a good job at that.
Well, I don't want to hold you. I'm sorry all of that happened to you. My God.
Yeah, me too. I'm so sorry.
My God.
But right now she hasn't tried to take you to court or nothing.
I hope she never comes back. I know that's sad to say, but your grandchild much better with her out the picture. Maybe when he gets to be an adult and he want to sit down and talk to himself, but now, no.
Yeah, that would be up to him. But then, he would know how to just, just fight for a life on the truth. That would be up to him and everything. And I'm sure one day he might want to meet her, but right now, after he talked to Mike and everything, he said he needed to know. He talked to Mike's mother, who was supposed to be his grandmother. And he said he needed to know. And that was it. And I left the pictures to see if he would pick them up and look at them from time to time. I left them at, a peculiar place. He hasn't touched them. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm just glad that he's in a good place mentally and emotionally, and that you caring for him, and that your son's there, because that's my only concern. I just didn't want her to come wreaking havoc in that young man's life, or your son's life, or your life. When you said what you said, I was like, oh my God. When you said we need a pot of coffee and a bottle of wine, I was like, oh Lord. Because I said, okay. So that just can.
I don't think it's a long story. I didn't even know how to get it out.
That wasn't a long story. What you going through is similar to what she's trying to threaten me with, legal cases and accusing me of trying to murder somebody or plotting to murder somebody, all kind of foolishness. Everywhere she's gone. Victor Cousins, she's claimed that they videotaped her and him having sex and blackmailed her and threatened to release it online, and come to find out the guy, she had one of her friends in cahoots with him, and he was the one that she was saying was involved. But come to find out, and during the investigation, it was actually her friend. So it was never a tape. It was just the scandal was to bring the preacher down, because the preacher that sent her to be involved with Cousins wanted his position, and that's how they all got involved. Andrea was sent basically like a call girl, and she's been sleeping with a lot of preachers.
Well, I have my number.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have to come to Cleveland for nothing.
I hope not. I hope not.
And she hopefully she gonna move forward with menopause. Maybe she got her now. I can call on the old guy.
No, she just waiting. She's just waiting until
she's still trying to do this court thing, and the same thing you just said. If she never comes on time or she never shows up, she's doing the same thing with Bishop Cousins. Like when it's time to go to court,
she always got to lie.
Excuse.
But the reason she makes the excuse is because she has outstanding warrants.
Yeah.
And one of the outstanding warrants is the one of
them, I think, is because of the assault on you.
One of them is the case with you. It's still open.
Well, I'm never taking it off. So
good.
Good.
I'm never taking that off. And these people are doing that what they do. They really sweet and eat it. They're gonna have consistency to hold that her stories not hold up. They do not hold up. So, You know, unfortunately, in order to break her down, it costs people money, and that's what I meant by it cost me a lot of time and money to break those lives down. You know, but if you break them, if she contacted you and you break them lives down or whatever, what should be happening next? Put some charges on her for defamation of character and et cetera, and let her pay her way out of some of that stuff, because that's terrible what she's doing. And I'm gonna pray for Bishop Tucker.
She ruined that man.
And they love it. And my opinion, you know, to them was, you know, they said, well, he's human. I said, we all are human. You know, I said, but, you know, it ain't nothing wrong with him being human. But when you take an oath, you know, when you take an oath, you put yourself in a position to be judged. And so it's important right now as a pastor to be in fervent prayer and to be in touch with God. And because you have so many people, like I tell my clients, it's so many people that are suicidal. It's so many people that, you know, walking in the workplace, shooting up people. You know, so many people are hurting. So many people are pressed and confused. And we need a pastor that's doing the right thing to get that suicide demon off your back. How is your pastor going to get the suicide demon off a person's back if he can't leave the vagina alone? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he can't pray and get that lust off of him, you know, and from my personal experience, you know, when I'm in prayer, when I pray a lot, I'm strong. And when I'm not in prayer and I miss or I skip or I'm gone too long from talking to the Creator, talking to God, then I'm weak and my old ways come back. You know, or the simple ways come back. So as a pastor, he's supposed to be fasting. He's supposed to be in prayer, you know, a constant relationship with God, because he has so much to fight up against. So that's why it's important that if you're feeling human and you feeling weak and you can't get your personal life under control, it's okay to say, I'm going to step down, I need a break. It's okay. Because if you don't do that, then you you'll flock astray. It's like the blind leading the blind man. You know? Yeah. So that's my feeling, my opinion.
I agree.
My personal opinion about it. You know, I don't condemn him. You know, I don't think he should be in this situation, because we are human. We all make mistakes, and knowing the type of person that he's dealing with, you know, at some point, you know, consequences and stuff will come. You know, she was young. You've been doing this and getting away with it for a long time. But that's between you and God and that legal system down there. You know, but so I don't do the person, you know, and that's why I said it's not my job to expose nobody or nothing like that. I don't have time for all that drama. But God, you know, it's real out here. The devil is running rapid, and it's real. And we need real pastors to uphold their oath. Really do. At this time.
I'm just like I said, I'm just glad that you were able to step in and take care of your grandson and give him a safe and secure environment. I'm just sorry this all happened to you, and I will never mention you publicly or anything. I just wanted to hear the background, so I know.
Yeah, well, we never mentioned it. You know what the gender of the child
nothing.
Of the child is.
Nothing.
Never named nothing. We want y'all to be at peace, like you said. You want a peace over there.
Well, I just want to leave you alone. I just want to leave y'all alone, and the farther away she is from y'all, the better.
Well, I'm sorry that you encountered her. I really am. But
I deal with her. She'll be dealt with.
And she can't lose.
She'll be dealt with. Yeah, she's gonna be dealt with, but the right way, just like you did her the right way. You did things the right way when you could have just tore her tail up and sent her packing, but you dealt with her in the courts the right way. Unfortunately, it cost you a pretty penny, but now I know that she ain't got pot no wonder. I ain't worried. She just
okay then. All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. I'm about to go on my sister.
Okay, you go take.
You can send me your Cash App. Can you tell me now or text it?
Let me see.
Just text it to Andre. Text it to text.
Yeah,
Text
you
it to
can
him.
text it to us.
All right.
Okay.
All right now.
All right. You have a good evening. Have a good dinner.
You too.
All right. Take
All
care.
right.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Damn.
God.
Damn.
Damn.
I told you.